Merry meet everyone, welcome back to My Pagan Life as always, and of course to yet another episode of the Yule Calendar 2020. I'm so sorry if my voice is low, guys. I don't want to wake everyone else up. It's really late. Also, another update, the reason why this video is so delayed is because I have just gotten this set up. I have a new computer with a streaming set, and yeah, so in case you guys didn't know, I work in game development, or more specifically, I'm studying game development at the moment, so I'm not going to be mostly doing gaming here, but it gives me the workspace to make games, make videos, all of that good stuff. Anyway, that's not what this video is about, so let's get over to what we're actually going to do today, which is discuss another word. And today's word is, quite simply, darkness. This is a bit of a difficult word to discuss because it can mean so many things, and it kind of touches on some of the tougher, harder, more difficult things to discuss. But I will try to the best of my ability to just share my general thoughts. So, what does darkness mean to me? In the literal sense, it quite simply means I live in Norway. I think that should really say it all, but I'm going to explain it. In Norway, during this time of year where I live, it's pitch black almost all the time. During my time throughout middle school and high school especially, but also in grade school, you'd wake up early, say 7 or 8 o'clock, and it's pitch black. And then you get dressed and you go to school, and it's still kind of dark until like 9 or 10-ish o'clock in the morning. And then the day passes on, and it starts to get like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then the sun starts to set, and by the time it's 4 o'clock, the sun has completely disappeared, and it's pitch black again. And for someone who loves sun and light and warmth, this time of year is extremely tough on the psyche, on the body, and everything. And so it's been a real struggle trying to, get through these times. And what really keeps me going are the traditions that I do here on My Pagan Life, and the traditions I have with my family and other people around me. But for me, darkness is very much about that, especially during this time of year. It's quite simply the fact that I live in a country where it is literally dark all the time. And if you really want to get that sunlight, you have to be out very, at a very certain time, a very specific time. But you can also talk about darkness in the abstract sense, the mental sense, the emotional sense. And this is the time of year where it is very dark, for instance, where I live, and so this really is a time where it's very natural to contemplate the heavier and darker sides of life. And, there's a balance. There's always a balance, which means we're also going to be discussing the counterpart to darkness, which is light. But, in a world where we have to acknowledge both aspects and we have to work through both of them and, live with both of them, this is the time of year, at least for me, where it's the most natural to work through them. And so during Ostara and Beltane, it's natural to, celebrate life for what it is. But then, Mabon and Samhain and Yule comes around, and it's natural for me to think about, okay, so the older aspects, the heavier aspects, and the darker aspects, whatever that means. Now, back when I was struggling with depression in middle school and some anxiety, that this time of year might have been extra difficult for me, at least from what I can remember, because, I think it's pretty obvious that depression doesn't really help with darkness. It quite simply makes it worse. But now that I'm not struggling with that, at least that's not an issue anymore. But I'm still zapped of energy during this time. But you know what? I'll make the most of it, and I hope you guys make the most of it too. Spend the time you have trying to reflect upon things. And if you're living in an area where it's really dark right now, it may be tough, but I encourage you to try to do the same as me, even though it may be hard sometimes, to just reflect upon life and acknowledge it for what it is and, make the most of it. Nature is all a balance, and we should try to be part of that balance. So, anyway, I could talk about this for hours on end. This is such a broad subject, but I hope you guys will help me fill in the blanks down in the comments below with your personal thoughts and experiences. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna leave it at that. I am super tired and I'm just rambling on, so I really need to stop. But obviously, we will be talking about, this is actually a hint for the next episode, we will be talking about light next, because why the heck not? We need to talk about the balance. So, you know what? I love you guys. Make sure you stay safe. I hope you're having a good time, and I'll see you tomorrow. Blessed be.